What was the genesis of this one?
I went to see The Light in the Piazza, which is Elizabeth Spencer novella that was made into a musical by Adam Gettle. And
I have no idea how you would go from that to this book, but go ahead, take me there.
well, in The Light in the Piazza, a mother and daughter travel to Italy. The daughter is impaired. She's had an accident when she was 12. She's mentally impaired. She is now 26 years old. She falls in love with an Italian. An Italian falls in love back with her. Because of the language barrier, he does not understand that she is impaired. The mother at first tries to keep them apart, but then realizes that this is her daughter's one stab at a kind of normalcy and regular happiness. And so she manipulates the situation so the marriage occurs. And at the end of the musical, as the wedding is about to take place, she is standing on stage belting her lungs out. Love's a fake! Love's a fraud! You have to embrace a musical comedy that ends on that note. And so I came home and I was possessed by, what happens to these people next? It probably isn't going to be good. And although I didn't use Elizabeth Spencer's characters, I wanted to write about what happens when you're really stuck in marriage, and also about devotion in marriage, and really about a happy, highly functional family. And so I wrote a book about a husband and wife. Wife goes out for a bicycle ride. She has an accident. She is mentally impaired. Several years later, the husband remarries. And he and the new wife carry this first wife along as if she's one of their children. It's not a secret, really, but the book is narrated by the oldest son of this new marriage. And he begins to realize when he's a teenager that his family configuration is somewhat unusual. So that's sort of how that all came to be.
And the one who's impaired is Madeline of the title.
Yes, the first wife.
And she's about mentally 7, something like
Yes.
that. Yeah, and oddly, the book isn't about her at all in a lot of ways.
Well, she's central to the book, but because she affects everyone else, but she really doesn't. She's a very passive character.
I thought of her as Teflon.
Teflon.
Because nothing, after the accident, nothing stuck to her.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just sort of would slide off, and people would die, or people would go away, and she'd be upset for a little bit, and then it would just fade, because she couldn't hold it in her memory, and it would be gone, and she was just the same.
Yeah, she was the same. And the narrator looks at that. What is a life when you are ever the same? When you are childlike for eternity. She does have a boyfriend in the middle of it, in her 40s, that is very. I didn't have her having the boyfriend initially, but Mikey O'Day is this very kind of happy-go-lucky man who's in his 40s too, and it was actually a pleasure to give her this moment of happiness, and it's something that I think was deeply important to her.
I really liked Mikey.
Oh, thank you. I
liked the two of
too.
them. They were very sweet, but it wasn't Montague and Capulet's doomed, but you just knew that, well, where could it really go? Where could they really have something? And because he had a pretty domineering mother,
right.
Overprotective.
Right. And you know how every relationship, if you don't have strife, you have to create it just to keep it interesting. And Madeline does whip up this drama about how she wants to get married. She wants to have a wedding, which the parents thwart.
It just occurred to me that the United States is a lot like Madeline. Kind of like it's whacked its head and it's lost its short-term memory. It's gone back to being 7 years old, and the rest of the world.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god! I really meant that.
I thought you were going to go, oh my goodness, you've totally missed my novel. Out the window.
No, that was my whole goal. Yes, Madeline is the United States. Well, I'm going to use that. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. But there's I think there might be something there, because...
Yes, we have completely... Oh, my goodness. Oh, but the question is, are we going to remain childlike for the rest of our days? Or can we be rehabilitated and with enough therapy? What's our prognosis?
Yeah, I was happy with the book. And I was happy where everybody ended up.
Well,
Except
good.
Mikey died. It was sad.
Mikey.
But I think Mikey had an okay life.
Oh, Mikey had a great
He
life.
found somewhere else to
He
sing.
had a great life. Moo two drifters off to see the world.
I could hear him in my head. So I remember there was a mentally handicapped guy who used to hang around the corner at the YMCA, and he would sing songs at the top of his lungs pretty badly.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something kind of
Charming.
yeah.
Just that passion.
Mm-hmm.
And lack of consciousness.
Mm-hmm. The book is When Madeline Was Young, a novel. I've been speaking with the author Jane Hamilton, and When Madeline Was Young, published by Doubleday.